10 high blood pressure control tools that you must have if you want to control your BP naturally. So on today's training, we're going to be looking at some of these tools. As a matter of fact, they're actually more than 10, but we're going to look at 10 of the tools that you must have, excuse me, if you're really trying to control your BP naturally. So one of the things that I'm also going to be doing is I'm going to be sharing my screen to show you some of them and then show you exactly. And then we're going to talk about how you should be using them. Okay, like so what they are and how you should be using them. Of course, these may be things you're already using, but if you're not doing it right, we're going to look at how you can do it right. We're going to try to make this really, not so long, but not also too short. And then we're also going to let you understand where this falls within trying to control your BP naturally. So this is more like a we're going to try to make it in depth, but brief at the same time. Some of them you're already using, some you don't already use. All right, if we're just meeting, thank you for joining. Let us know where you're joining from and how it's going on your own. And this is Hold on Wellness Show, episode 28. My name is Pharmacist Chibuamam Ilechukwu, founder of Hypertension Africa, where we help you wake up every morning to normal numbers so that you can enjoy your best life in super health and without having to take so many drugs all the time to do that for you. All right. So let me try to share my screen. So one of the things that most people ask is, oh, what do I need? Everyone is just thinking, oh, it's all about food, food, food. Yes, food is great, but okay, so I hope I can share my screen. I don't even know. It's been a while I did it. So I'm trying to pull up my screen, but everyone thinks it's about food. So BP control is not just about food. It's more than food. At least that's the strategy that has helped many people to do it. And it's not just food. So we're going to be looking at these tools beyond food. Okay. How do I share my screen? God. Okay. Yeah. So I'm almost there now. So let me know as we're sharing these, you're gonna see which of these tools you're already using, and which one you can add to what you're already doing, and all that. Okay, so here's my slide. Present. Let me present it. Let me also see if you guys can see me. Let me know if you can see my slide. Yep. Let me see. Yes, you can see my slide. Beautiful. Let me take this out. Okay, so these are stuff that you must have if you want to lower your BP naturally. Many people, why are we looking at lowering our BP naturally? Obviously, it's easier, it's better, it's long term. You have that freedom, you don't have that fear, you don't have that burden of, oh, where do I start and what do I, every day complaining of one thing or the other. So let's get started. So basically, I need to say that your BP control is your duty. So it is not your doctor's duty. It is nobody's duty. It is your duty. And so that's why we're doing this with you. We want you to know what you have to do, what you need to have. All right. So there are three classes. We've classified these tools into three to touch on the different aspects, like I already said in the introduction. So basically, okay, so before we talk about the tools, it's also important that I show you this. If you are new to any of our content, you're new to our kind of stuff, right? This is our body repair wheel. So basically where this falls is what we're trying to do is, if you're ever going to be able to be free from high BP or to control your BP naturally, ideally when you use this method, which is starts from your mind liberation, your body liberation, and your freedom activation, you will get your health back. You will not need to live on drugs for the rest of your life. As a matter of fact, earlier today, the people who were already on this journey, they were already sharing. Some of them had dropped like 12, had dropped so many drugs already, and they already are getting their lives back. These are people who thought that they would never get off medication. So what we're sharing today is in the body liberation. As you can see, this is mind liberation starts with your mind, your head, where you're at, your start points and all that. But body liberation is where you start to work your body back to repair. So these tools are the tools you're going to be using on your body to work it back to normal. All right. So that is why we're focusing. You can see where the red arrow is. We're focusing on your body liberation. And so that's where these come in. I've classified them into three. Basically, the first one is your measuring and your tracking tools, right? And then we now look at the foods, your drinks, and your kitchen tools that you need. And then the third class is your exercise tools. Okay, give me a second. I need to make sure that this is shared to our people who are let me know if you're following so far. Give me a second and then I'll be with you again to make sure our people are watching this who are on our Telegram who wanted to get notified once we went live. Okay. So basically, let me know if you're really enjoying the stuff that we're talking about. Okay. So let's quickly go into the measuring and tracking tools. Now, basically, obviously, you must have a BP monitor. I can't even stress this enough because if you're going to be working your BP back to normal, you need to know where your BP is at every point in time. If you're always afraid of checking, then there is a problem somewhere, right? Because if you are afraid of checking your BP, how will you be able to control it naturally? It's always going to be difficult. So you need to own a BP monitor. Of course, never mind all these tools. So we're just laying it out for you. You don't have to go buy everything, but at least you need to know what you need to have, and then you can work towards it. Okay. So basically, get a BP monitor. And then that takes me to number two, which is your transformation trackers. That's the name we call it. You can call it whatever name you like, right? So we call it transformation trackers because if you're trying to lower your BP naturally, you're trying to transform your health by yourself. Yes or no? So basically, what this means is you've got to be writing down somewhere. I don't know if I've ever asked you or anybody, maybe even when you go to see your doctor and they say, what well, if you go to see your doctor, they'll actually check for you. But if you, for instance, you speak with me and you say, hey, I want to learn how to. Okay, we are live. Yeah. If you say I want to control my BP, I want to control my BP naturally and all that. And then what I'll ask you is what was your last BP reading? Yes or no? Most times you don't know what it is. You don't know because you're not tracking. You've not written it down. Sometimes you checked last 2 months ago, 3 months ago. How would you know what your BP is? So when you check, you need to be tracking. I'll give you an instance. I used to have one around here, but it's not here now. But I'll give you an instance. You need to have it on a sheet of paper. It should be hard copy, ideally. And then it has to be on a sheet. And so on your sheet, you should have your date. You should have the date. You should have the time that you checked. You should also record multiple readings, not just one reading. And then you should record if something like you should have comment section. So if I didn't sleep well last night or I slept well, this what I'm sharing with you, even when you get track sheets from, I think, was it the WHO's website now, or was it WebMD, one of these websites? I actually went there and I downloaded their track sheet. It was very close to what we have, which we give to our clients, even though we added like 1 or 2 columns extra. So that's what you should have. So that's that for track sheets. You need to have it because you want to be seeing what you're doing, the results you're getting, right? Okay, so number three thing that you need to have is the weighing scale. I added this here because sometimes if you're trying to lower your BP naturally, maybe you concurrently are working on your weight. So ideally, you should have a weighing scale at home. However, this is optional because if you're not tracking your weight, you don't need to have this. Also, if also because you don't have to check this every single day, it's something that ideally you should check every week, even if you're working on your weight. If you check every day, you'll be discouraged early because you're gonna feel like, you're gonna feel like, okay, my weight is not dropping, and then you give up on it. So this is optional. So let's quickly go to the next set of tools, which is your foods and your kitchen tools. I actually just did only like I just made it just two things here, even though there is more, because I promised you 10. As you can see, there are even more than 10 already. So when it comes to your food and your kitchen tools, basically, you must have a blender or a juicer or a grater. So basically, why should you have this? Because if you're trying to control your BP naturally, you would be juicing a lot. You would be, maybe you would want to juice or you may want to blend. If you blend and you don't strain, it becomes a smoothie, right? If you strain, it becomes a juicer. So you just have only the juice, the drinks. Worthy of note, of course, if you have diabetes, you don't want to be juicing a lot because when you juice, you free up the sugar. Okay. So this is why you need this. You need your graters as well. Let's say you're grating your ginger, you're grating your garlic that you're going to put into your food or put into what you're eating. Or maybe you want to grate some nutmeg that you want to maybe sprinkle on something you're eating, That's why you need these ones, right? So let's go to jars and bottles. Did you know that water is also very important in BP control? So usually it's always good to have your bottles. Let me know if you guys can see me because I'm just going on. I'm hoping you guys can see. Okay, beautiful. So people are still following. Awesome. Let me know in the chat as well. Right? So you need your jars and bottles to also track. Oh, beautiful. Some people are here. Thank you, Mr. Augustine. Good evening to everyone watching from Barcelona, Spain. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Good evening. Yay. How you doing? Good evening. You're enjoying it. Thank you so much. Okay. So your jars and bottles, because for instance, let me tell you, for your water, you need at least to drink at least 3 liters of water every day. And basically that's your fluids, your whole fluid intake. If you're targeting 3 liters every day, you can measure with your bottle. So if your bottle is 1 liter, for instance, so you just target to drink 3 full bottles. Also, your juicing, you can put it in your can if you're going out, if you're at work, you have your water bottle. So this is why this is very important that you have one. If you don't want to buy a new one, you can also use water bottle. So you can do like big ever bottle or a small ever bottle, but you know the size, you know the capacity, then you measure as you're drinking, right? Awesome. So let's quickly go to the third category, which is for your exercise or your fitness gear. As you know, exercise is very important for your heart to condition heart. If you're trying to lose weight, you're going to be doing exercises. It's also good to improve your blood flow all over your body and all that. So you need exercise gear. But of course, you don't need to get stuck if you don't have everything, or for instance, for number 6, I said treadmills, skipping rope, dumbbells. So if you can, so we've had people, some of our clients say, "Oh, my husband got me a treadmill because it's not safe for me to run on the road." And that's fine. If you cannot get a treadmill at home, you can walk, you can run on the road, you can use your stairs, you can do walking, you can jog around your compound or your estate. So these are, it's flexible, right? Everything here is flexible. Skipping ropes, if you're trying to shed weight, this is perfect as well. But of course, check the condition of your heart before you start exerting that way. So the seventh one is your exercise mat. If you're doing like yoga, if you're doing stretches, if you're also doing meditation and you just want to sit on the floor, this works very well. Or if you don't want to use mats, you can use regular mats, or you can use anything else. Fidbits, these are cool. Most people like this because when you wear a Fitbit on your wrist, it's also cool and trendy. The one I have, oh my god, I didn't even still bring it here, is something that you can just clip to your body. It's an old one, so my husband he got two from his company, so I just took one. So, but it helps you count your steps. For instance, you see people saying, "I did 10,000 steps, I did 4,000 steps" in their Fitbit. So you can get that as well to track, because tracking is the bedrock of controlling your BP naturally. It's not, it's not like it doesn't happen by magic. Of course, if you stay to the end, guys, if you're watching, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. If you're seeing this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, right? Let me quickly say, if you stick to the end, we also have a resource to really help you get started, because you might be wondering, all these things you're saying is so a whole lot. I can't remember everything. So make sure you subscribe to our channel. So we're going to let you know how you can easily get started with these things. Then your smartphones and online videos. These ones are really cool for, let's say, exercise routine. One of the things that we teach our people is, don't say, "I'll just freestyle. I will do the one I like." When you freestyle, you may just start to dance and you be like, "I beg, let me rest." And that's the end of the exercise. So what you want to do is you want to find a fitness trainer online that you like their workouts. And then you get their videos. You can save their videos if they're on YouTube. So that's where your smartphone comes in. Save a fitness video that you love and use it. So every morning, if you're doing a 15-minute exercise, you can just start to play it. So when it's time for your exercise, you just start to play it and follow along. I particularly like to do the walk with Leslie, Dr. Leslie, right? So you can do any one. If you're doing HIIT, for instance, that is your high intensity, follow a 15-minute or a 30-minute or a 10 minutes routine depending on your goal. And when I say depending on your goal, everyone starts at different spots. If you have a target, right, you know what you really want, so you get a video that fits into what you really want. Okay, that's some of the things that, like, for our people, we can handpick and say, okay, you need HIIT, you need to do, maybe you're elderly, you need to do the ones that are gentler on your joints and all that. So you have to pick out that. Then comfortable wear. We can't even wear very tight clothing. It's very restricting. It's gonna restrict blood flow. So why are you doing that? You need comfortable wear. For women, you can do leggings and any tops will work. Right. For males, a good t-shirt, a good sweatshirt, t-shirt and shorts would. All right. So basically, these are 10. If you're just joining us, we've went over 10 different tools that you will need if you're trying to control your breathing naturally. And of course, I started by saying that this whole thing falls into, before I show you the tool, this whole thing falls into this body repair transformation. So basically, if you want to successfully control your BP naturally, it's not just about what will I eat. You've seen there are so many aspects to it, but it's always good to, and then you need to follow a strategy. Don't just say, I'm taking garlic. That's what you're using to control your BP. It cannot give you sustained result. But if you really want to get off your medicines long term, this is what you need to follow. So to help you, and so we went over some of the tools. We said the measuring tools, the foods, the exercise. If you're just joining us, you may need to watch from the beginning. If you have any questions, ask live so I can answer right now. And then let me just quickly share with you how you can get started. So if you want to get started, you need to find out some of the mistakes you're making around your BP control. Head straight to www.attentionafrica.com/mistakes-pdf. I'm also going to include the link for you in the description of this video so you can get started. Also, so you can find out what you're doing wrong. But more importantly, if you're like, oh, I really want to control my BP naturally, you can also, we have a full training, a webinar where we go over the 3 steps, how these 3 things help you to become high BP free, the 3 steps to reversing high BP naturally. Once you get this PDF, you get the opportunity to also join us for the webinar. I'm also going to link the webinar as well under this. So basically, that's it. I'm going to look out for your questions. If we have any questions, I'll answer them. And then basically, if you're like, oh, please, I love what you're sharing. I would love to be able to know how to use all these tools, because it's one thing to go and buy all these things. Like if you go out now and go and buy these 10 things I talked about, or pick out all of them, how do you now use them and make your BP to be normal, so you can go from 180 over 120 to 120 over 80 in the next 4 weeks, right? We have different programs to help you with that. We have the DIY, do-it-yourself BP crushing program, where you can just follow every single thing step by step, and you can get your readings, perfect readings, in the next 30 days. So I'm also going to link it for you, DIY BP crushing program. You can drop in the comments as well, so I can link you to that. Or if you prefer, oh, you want to work with us, that's fine. So let us know in the comments. I hope this has helped you. If you're just joining, let me know. I can't see you guys. I can't see your comments. Someone says, yes, I'm enjoying this. Beautiful. Thank you, Madam Adobe. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Thank you for the feedback. Someone says, good evening. Hey, Madam Eudora, good evening. All right, let me know your comments if you have any questions around this. Let's talk about them. So basically, these are the tools that you need. Make sure you get these things and start to use them. Have your blender, your juicer, because you're going to be eating a lot of fresh foods. It's the fresh foods that heal your body, right? So have that ready. In the absence of any questions, you guys, I don't see your questions. I don't know why. You can still drop your questions below and I'll answer them. And if you want to get this free resource titled 5 BP mistakes that most people currently make that cause your BP to never go down, please make sure you download it and get started. You're going to find where you're getting it wrong and how to correct them. And then when you know how to correct them, then you can easily start to normalize your BP by yourself. You get to watch our free webinar as well. And then you can sign up for the DIY crushing program if you want that, or if you want to do it on your own, no problem. All right, so thank you so much for watching. In the absence of any questions, I'm going to end this broadcast right now. Don't forget to share. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, our YouTube channel. If you're seeing this on YouTube, anywhere you're seeing this, make sure you follow us. I'll see you around. Bye.